it is not that I am going to speak something and you will listen. We will interact among ourselves. I find a very good hospitality in the morning, thanks to the management. The environment coming few kilometers to this plant was also very good. Coming inside is still better. Now here, today, we will discuss something that even if we are doing the best, still there are certain problems for which occasionally there are some unsafe conditions or acts which is resulting into accidents. If we try to analyze, now always shifting of responsibility comes. Everybody tries to shift the responsibility to others. I have interacted. If I sit, I think people cannot listen when I see me. Height During a construction phase, I visited a factory. I met with the general manager of the section. While I was discussing with him, I found a person wearing a lungi and slipper just passed through. He is not my man. Please listen to me little carefully why I am telling you. He told me he is not my man and he was the general manager of SMS2. Then I told him he is not your man, what he is doing. Now he is in charge of project and I am GM operation in SMS2 and that man is working in SMS2 but in project. Previous organization where you have worked, he told in RSP, Rahul Kalam. Then I told him in which department? Now hot rolling mill. Then in which department? In coil section. Then I told you, sir, please don't mind, you should have told I am from coil section of hot rolling mill of RSP. Now where you are employed? In Bhushan. Why? You should tell that I am in charge of SMS2 operation. That will never say. Here also when I interact with the people of the plant, now they come with the thing, then say, no, I am not from power plant, I am from CGP. Or I am not from CGP, I am from this. So the question is, please don't take it otherwise, but we have to accept that we are from JSPS, we are not from CGP of JSPS. Why? Now suppose a mechanical engineer enters into the plant and he finds that a group of people working at height are doing some electrical maintenance work and he finds that they are doing the work unsafely. Now definitely the mechanical engineer thinks that this is not my job, this is job of electrical engineer. He never bothers, he goes by, even if he understands that there are some unsafe act and there is some unsafe condition. But here I want to tell you that the life of a person is more important than the work for which the engineer is passing. Or question can be said. The point, still all these things will come to our mind and we have to listen and we have to bear. So what is happening is, it is just like a chain and failure is occurring in the weakest link. And the heaviest link has to also shoulder that responsibility of the failure. So with that, let us start. Operate interact on it. Chalantu. Now the management of Jindal, they are doing the best to provide a safe work culture in the plant. But still there are problems. In the state of Odisha, if you look back from 2005 onwards, the fatal accident rates have started increasing. It is obvious because there was industrialization. But we wanted industrialization, we did not want accidents. We made agreement or MOU with the management who are having financially strong. I don't think that what is their background on industrial safety in that field. Definitely, many industrial houses, once they started establishing their units in Orissa, they also started learning what is safety. Tata, who have already established their plant for last 200 years, still there are accidents going on in their plants. If you think of other units new and very fresh to the industrial houses, having no experience, and you give them a target to achieve the same target what Tata has done during last 200 years, it will be practically impossible. So definitely it is a failure on the part of government or management to choose the management. That is one part. Now coming to a good management like yours, that part is eliminated because in Jindal that is already established industrial house in the country and you have got very good safety culture. Then second is coming to the workers. Now the present scenario in Orissa is managements, they don't get the proper type of workers or engineers or managers. And there are engineers who are not getting jobs. Both the things are going together. There are engineers or students who have passed out from the institutions, they are not getting jobs, and there are managements who are not getting good engineers. Now suppose a mechanical engineer who comes out from the educational institute, he is required to operate a power plant, but the basic linkage between that education and the practical feasibility, there is a big gap and void. That is not being understood. So now time has come, even for the industrial houses and the institutions, to have a industry-institute interaction during the educational level of the engineers or MBAs, whatever in that field, so that they can have a pre-thinking that this is what is the applicability of a mechanical engineer once come out from that. That is one part. And second part, even if it is known what is being happening, now in Jindal, suppose you want to recruit a mechanical engineer, you give a advertisement, 10 people come, all are engineers, certified by AICT, and you select one. The 9 to whom you don't, the selected mass, who has got a potential educational level, they are being screened by us. But we never screen the persons who don't have any educational background. So there actually the management principle fails. What I believe, an engineer, he has read for 1 year or 4 years, did well, got a degree with a minimum system culture. But who is a contract level? The statistics goes that the person who are dropped out in schools, they have never read, so they become contract level. Means a person who read 1 year and failed, become a contract level, was made pass in your organization by giving half an hour induction training. So the person who failed after 1 year of education was made pass after half an hour of induction training, is a contract level engaged in this plant, is the weakest link. Now all the strong links are together here in this room to think that why the failure is occurring. The failure occurs there. If we can make some arrangement to recruit at least good workers at the bottom level, that is the contract worker unskilled, in that category. For example, I can tell you, let us not engage any contractor, any contract worker who has not worked for minimum 5 years in any industry. Must be having a working experience of this. Suppose somebody will work at height, let us make minimum age group. I have made a statistic of the state of Orissa. I find that the accident rates are more, particularly between 18 to 20, 22 years, then from 22 to 25, then from 25 to 30. The way age increases, accident rate decreases. That is the more responsible. He bears or belongs to a family at that time. But at this below 25 years, They are either bachelor and they don't bother. They want to show more, to show their efficiency, and in the process they commit mistake. So what we can do is, starting from when we are engaging the contractors, we should screen, just like a engineer, the way we screen, we should also screen the contractors. The workers who are being inducted by the contractors, they should be having minimum 5 years experience, or for the hazardous work like working at height, confined space, etc., or a crane operator like this, we should make a minimum age of suppose 25 years like this. These are not statutory, but if this type of conditions are let down during selection of a contractor or workers, then definitely you will be in a better position. Even a person is having 30 years in Tata Steel, even if he comes, if he has to deal with an unskilled contract labor, he cannot match to the expectations. So that thing is, suppose I send 100 students from my village to JNU, can they become civil service? No. The reason is they get the best cream of the students from all over the country. Screening process is very good. So output is good. So one thing that is very common and theoretical, definitely, if you get good inputs into your factory, your result, your achievement will be definitely good. So you have to think in your mind that how to get good people. Proper screening, proper selection of contractors, etc., definitely will help you. That is one thing. If not, then you have to educate them. But educating a people, if you get all not of that standard students and trying to educate, will not solve. Education is just a refreshment and just a fine tuning. If the person doesn't know the art, later on fine tuning will not work. Then the next point is a supervisor. Whenever there is any accident, we investigate. We find that there is a supervisor. But what is the definition of a supervisor? Can anybody say? Supervisor माने आपण कोन बुझछंती? हैं? ये कहउछंती better than others. तेणु कहंतु कि असुविधा नहीं. We are discussing, not that
his vision is better than the people working under him.
अच्छा, good. All question vision is better. Now tell me, what should be the criteria in selecting a supervisor? Who can be, but how to know that his vision is better? For that, there should be some guiding factors. Just I was going to a English dictionary, that what is supervisor? The basic word is vice, V-I-S-E. Supervise, the person who supervises is a supervisor. The person who plays is a player. Then vice, it is written in the dictionary, you can also verify. Vice same as vice, V-I-C. Vice means bad habits. Now visor, a person having bad habits. Now supervisor. Now why I am telling you is, if you look back, supervisor having vision what our staff told, correct, you will find that he is a matriculate, he has 25 years, he is supervising a welder whose age is 50 years, supervisor is getting 2,500, welder is getting 5,000. Means you proved that energy can flow from lower potential to higher potential without any aid of power. Where science fails, but management passes. Am I correct or not? Anywhere you find there is a supervisor whose age is 25 years, he is supervising a man whose age is 50 years. Supervisor gets 2,500, the person to whom he supervises gets double his salary, and he has got no knowledge, and he is a supervisor, self-styled. That is called Indian edition of ISO. But designation we keep, because under the statutory provision of law, section 7A to C, it is the responsibility of the occupier to supervise, to go for effective supervision at work. That's why you have given a supervisor. Intention is he must be having a greater vision, but what is the vision he is having? If you look back into the model factory rules, framed by DG firstly, Director General Factory Advice Service. They have told there should be there is a qualification and experience of a supervisor, and must have relevant experience of 5 years on the work where he is going to be engaged. Here, the supervisor, what you told, they are nothing but the attendance keepers. They are authorized to only fetch welding rod when welding rods are exhausted. They are there to facilitate your power supply, like this. So please see, now the second step that comes into our mind, because all you had key persons are available here. Please see in your side that whoever is a supervisor, either from the management side or from contractor side, he must be having that vision, what he told, rightly told. He must be better than the others. A person is not having any knowledge on welding cannot be a supervisor of a welder. Am I correct or not?
Yes.
So now, to satisfy or justify himself as a supervisor, it is the responsibility of the management to find out whether the supervisor is having adequate knowledge on welding or not, on some other rigor job or not. Like this. Suppose work at height, the supervisor must be having adequate knowledge. What is the safety required to be done? If not, he should not be a supervisor. So, if these things you have to first do, select good workers, may be a regular or contract level. Then go for effective supervisors. Your work with safety officer. Who are the safety officer in this conference hall?
Only one.
We all are safety officers. That's why I am telling. I don't want to see 1, 2, 3 or 10 hands. I want to see that everybody in this conference hall are safety officers. Are you not responsible for the safety in your site, in your workplace, in your department, in your section?
Everyone is.
So I told you, who is a player? Anybody who plays. Why you are thinking that who is an international player? You have made your own definition in your mind because you never bother for safety. I may be wrong, but I am telling you. So let us have a safety in state of mind. What I am telling you is, you have to understand that yes, I am also a safety officer. Safety officer's job under the statutory provision of law is to advise the management, not to see that things are done safely or not. It is the department in charge, the section in charge, the site in charge. They are responsible for the safe conditions and safe actions of the people who are working under them. It is not the job of the safety officers. The management who asks the safety officers responsible for any unsafe act or condition in any section is a bad management. It is the departmental heads or the section heads, they must find out the unsafe conditions. If they try to fail in their achievements to control the unsafe conditions, then they will seek the advice of the safety department how to do it. That is what the basic motto of the act. If you go through it is very careful. So each one of us are responsible for the safety, that is unsafe acts and conditions in our own sections and jurisdictions. If that is being done, take care of the seconds, ours will take care of themselves. Then coming to the point of safety officers, under the statutory provision of law, we say that these many safety officers are required. Now you have got a license of 25,000, so you have to engage 25 safety officers, and out of them you have engaged 24. Out of that 7, they cannot be acceptable, that we have already given in writing. So the point is, that is other thing. Even if you engage 50, your problem will not be fulfilled if there is no support from the individual head. Am I correct or not? It is not the number of safety officers which will reduce the accidents. It is only the culture. Each one must involve ourselves into the safe actions. Then only things will improve. Now the safety officer job is, there are certain 13-14 points which are required to be maintained by a safety officer. But we find the safety officer of a factory, they go to directorate of factories, to facilitate smooth approval of factory drawings, which is not within the duties prescribed in this book. So the management who actually deputes their safety officer for this job is actually not good. The concerned departmental people should go and do it. But I don't want to enter detail into it, but the thing is, because it is statutory, it is written. What are the duties a safety officer is required to do? And a safety officer must hold responsibility for any accident in the plant. Their job is to analyze into the accidents, that why such type of accidents are occurring. Their job is to advise the management or the concerned departmental heads that you have to do this. Then only it will improve. If the accident rate is gradually not coming down, then the efficiency of the safety department is also questionable. So what is required is, we have to amend our thinking, we have to amend our minds, we have to put safety into our mind, that whatever we are doing, we have to make a prefix of safety. Safe erection, safe construction, safe operation, like this. Then it will improve. Factories Act, which looks into the safety, health and welfare of the workers at work. So what we did, now there are assistant director of factory and boilers. There are many managements in the state of Odisha. What we practically feel, that suppose a guard is not there with a rotating part. Now suppose the statutory authority told that you have to give guards. All tail end of the conveyor system have to be guarded. Now management has got two choices. Either to guard the tail end or to guard the statutory authority. And many management find that giving a guard to the statutory authority is economical.
Take 1 minute break.
No problem. You see, why I am telling you is, let this thing don't come into the mind of the heads or the section in charge. It is required to be, for calling may tomorrow meet with an accident and may die. Let us have a fellow feeling consideration that may be including ourselves, including you also. Considering that in mind, you have to do it. Statutory authority job is to come, inspect and to give a guideline. But the rule is very simple. He has to inspect a factory once in a year. If it is a hazardous factory, not hazardous, we generally say hazardous, just like pollution board. But the real name is pollution control board. But many times we say I am going to pollution board. Similarly, we say hazardous factory, but the real thing is a factory involving hazardous process. Then he has to inspect once in each quarter. Now you tell me, one assistant director sitting at Ongul, who is responsible to inspect suppose 100 factories, can he come every day to your factory? So you have to make a routine sample checking. Now any sample observation that is given, it should be copied to all. Now suppose I find that in certain work at height, these are the irregularities. Means once a report is coming, immediately it is required to be discussed in a proper perspective. And a safe device or mechanism for working at height is required to be immediately prepared and to be circulated to all HODs. And it is the responsibility of the HOD to adhere to this. For example, I want to say, please any one of you, please tell me what is height work? Safety officer जमाने असंदे कौन सुने? जने कौन? कौन कहले?
1.8 meters above the considered height or below.
1.8 meter, 1.5 meter, 1.2 or 2 meter tall. From where?
From ground level.
From the ground level. A person is staying in 20th floor in a flat. So while sleeping, is he required to fasten the safety belt? Because he is staying more than 2 meters from ground level.
depending on the place, sir. वहाँ पर place कैसा है?
Anyway, you amend in your now previous statement that it is not 1 point or 2 meter from the ground. It is above 2 meter from the ground. Again, depend on situations. Now you tell me what is the situation and what are the parameters on which it
Say
depends.
there will be chances of falling down.
Very good. You see, now while we are discussing, now things are coming out. Where there is a chance of fall. Now you can amend it in this way. A person is working anywhere where there is a chance of fall below 2 meters. Or otherwise you told above. Now suppose you are digging a foundation pit of a chimney which is 10 meters below the ground level. And a person is working minus 2 meter level. Whether that will be treated as a height work or not. But you told above 2 meter. So the point is, let this thing in our mind. Even if it is above 2, below 2, it is immaterial. We have to think that there must be a chance of fall below 2 meters. Anywhere he works. Then that is a height work. Now you tell me what steps you will take. 1, 2, 3, which will help you for safe work in at height.
Some इसका make the scaffolding.
Scaffolding. Next.
Life.
Good. Next.
Rigid platforms.
Platform. Next.
Height permit.
Thank you. I got 7, 8 like these things. Some told platform, some told safety belt, lifeline, work permit for the register. All this indicates that you will allow the person to fall. Otherwise, why you will give for register? This is what I told. Everybody told that we will do this. That means
Why he falls?
you will definitely allow him to fall. Huh?
No.
Because
You are 70 meter or 20 meter height.
Why he falls? Why an individual falls? Understand the question. Whether anybody has covered that, make that
Training.
him understand that he himself should take those precautions and do work such a way that he doesn't fall.
But
Basic thing nobody has to
Take
tell
it.
us.
Very good. Once we are discussing and you are taking interest, that means you are actually listening. So I am happy at least that you are now listening to me. It's a good thing. My point of interest is safety. If you go to the very basic sense, it is having only 3 things. One, that you have to either eliminate the hazard or suppress the hazard at source. Number 2, you have to give a barrier between the hazard and the person who is going to be affected. I am giving one example. Now suppose you are having a ceiling fan. That fan is giving some noise. That is a hazard, noise hazard. Now what you can do? You can eliminate or suppress. Eliminate, you can put another ceiling fan, then there is no noise. You can suppress, you can see whether the balancing is okay or not, greasing etc. You do some maintenance, can be done. That is the first grade. But if you provide a well barricaded platform at any height, then no these your fall arrestor, your safety belt are not required. Then second is, suppose you fail to do that, then the person will fall. A person falling from height is not going to die if he is not hit with any structure or hit on the ground. So your second step is give a barrier from the hazard and to the people. Because what is your hazard? The person will not only fall, he has to fall and hit somewhere. You allow him to fall, but don't allow him to hit with something. Give a belt, give PP. And there are some other methods. So each thing we have to eliminate or suppress, we have to convert height work into a no height work. The person staying in 100th floor, they are not required to put on a safety belt every time they go to bathroom or dining room, no. Because you have arrested the chance of fall. So your basic concept comes into mind in any height work is that you have to convert a height work into a no height work. Then number two, if you fail in doing that, then you have to see that even if a person is falling, he should not be hit with any structure or on the ground. You have to make some arrangement. Then third, even if suppose he is falling, then you make their fall little comfortable. How? You can give sand on the floor. You can make the soil little loose. Even if a person is falling, you will get less hazard. And you protect them with head, etc. So it will lessen the impact. So like this. So providing a safety belt, helmet will not going to save the life of a person. So all these things are required. Then coming to legal practitioner. Legal practitioner are a barrier to the safety. Now we file a prosecution against the management for any fatal accident, and the legal practitioner, they take it to Lok Adalat, they go to the court and they make a fine, either acquittal or 5,000 fine. The management thought that this 5,000 fine is cheaper than compliance. So we should not